Hello and welcome. I'm Ramya from Work, and we are the Women Everyday series, a platform where we talk honestly about the future of work in India without the hype. Today's question sits in the middle of every tech leader's mind right now. Will AI replace our jobs or create new ones? The honest answer isn't one or the other. It's which roles, how fast, and what we do about it. So tonight we go specific, not speculative. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Ramya here at SheWork at the capacity of Assistant General Manager here in this industry from the past 18 years now. And we do have a very good panel today with us. And let me just introduce everything about them and let's have a very good, lovely interaction today going forward. Lots to learn so that you can take very good insights from all these leaders. SheWork is India's flagship platform for female leadership, workplace equity, and the future of work. A community of over 3 lakh women leaders across the country. The Women Everyday series is where we bring in voices from the front lines, CHROs, CTOs, founders, people leading these decisions. This is season 5. We have hosted over 60 industry leaders on the stage. And tonight's conversation matters because the stakes are real. AI is reshaping who does what, which skills matter, and how we hire and grow talent right now. Why this topic? AI is reshaping tech roles faster than most organizations can respond, and the stakes are too high for guesswork. The question is no longer if jobs will change, but which ones, how fast, and what to do about it. The C-suite is now jointly accountable for workforce transformation. So this is a cross-functional leadership challenge, so much as a technology one. Tonight, we cut through the noise with real decisions, real data, real perspective from which executives living it every day. Allow me to introduce three speakers today. Let me bring up our three. Rajiv Barnwal is a CTO at Cinecron, 22 years in enterprise technology, and one of the clearer voices in India on agentic AI and AI governance. His teams are putting autonomous coding agents into regulated banking grade environments. I do have Gaurav Balodia, is CTO India at EY. He built engineering at Flipkart in its early days, ran technology as CTO of Udam, and now leads AI-driven solutions across EVA India. And we also have Preetham Deshmukh, leads HR at Kimberly Clark, India as a senior talent business partner. She is the one who has to turn all of this into real conversations with real people about their roles, their hiring, and their future. Two of them are changing what the work is, and one of them has to look the workforce in the eye. That's our panel. I welcome everyone here today. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay, so let's start. I just have the very first question, and I would like to put it in front of Mr. Rajiv Barnwal. What's something AI broke in your engineering team this year that genuinely caught you off guard? Over to you.
Thanks, Ramya. There are many things I would say, and every day is a new day. So many things happening into the AI side. Like yesterday, only late night, Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.a, which still
Yes.
I'm trying and looking at it. But yes, I tried few things. So it was really a great Gen AI version that was released. But yes, still so soon to comment on that. What is breaking is not, I'll say, but yes, what it has actually added to it is that the faster release cycles, faster development cycles, the work that was supposed to be done with two-digit number of developers can be done with a single-digit number of the team. The work which was supposed to be done, say, in 8 sprints or sprints, which can be spent anywhere from 3 to 6 months, Can same can be done in, like, say, in less than a month's time with a limited number of team. That's where I see that AI has actually won across the technology. But definitely, there are like its con side also, specifically on the BFSI side, that how the guardrails, the audits, the telemetries are being maintained and being managed. So that is what, like, my views are.
Right. Well, Gaurav, what's your input and the take on this?
Yeah, Ramya, so it's a very, very interesting time, right? We are in the middle of. So technology keeps changing, right? It keeps making our lives more and more autonomous. But I think right now the real challenge is the rate of change, right? So I believe for engineering, what is really, I would say it is breaking, right? Is our intuition around effort, right? How do we do things? How many people do we need? How much time does it take, right? And I think we are in the middle of it. The SDLC, software development life cycle, is being reimagined, right? So we are all figuring out. I think, and every few weeks things change, right? Um if you remember, right, so for engineering the biggest bottleneck used to be implementation, right? Amount of time it takes for you to write code and implement, test that code, right? That bottleneck is no longer there. You can write code very, very fast, right? So the bottleneck has become clarity, right? Defining the problem, creating the blueprint around architecture. So I would think a lot of bottleneck is moving from execution, core raw execution, to decisioning, right? And this is happening very, very rapidly. And so teams have to move fast enough, right? And keep pace with it. If you don't, then it starts breaking for you.
Correct, correct. So, well, when we say this, so it's more important to understand that there is a cut down in the time taken and ease of getting the things done in a very limited time, like Rajiv mentioned, and you also mentioned that for the coding purposes and the time consumption is drastically getting reduced and everything. So that's a positive side of it, absolutely. And when it comes to the hiring side of it or the resources side of it, what is your take on this, Preetham? Thank you so much for joining in. First of all, if you can hear me, I hope you can hear me, Preetham. Am I
Yes, I
audible?
can hear you. Yes, I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes. I kind of had a little bit of technical issues, so joined in late. I would request if you could just, kind of rephrase the question.
Sure. So I was asking a question about, did AI broke in your engineering team this year that genuinely caught you off guard? So basically, it's a technical question. I just wanted to know your input from the hiring perspective because Gaurav and Rajiv were mentioning the plus point of it, in terms of cutting down on the timeline and having things done in a much easier and quicker way of doing so. So I wanted to know from your point of view, from the resources side of it, what is your take?
Yeah, I think while there are pluses, I would be realistic and say that definitely from talent acquisition standpoint, I wouldn't say it has caught us off guard, but there are a lot of unknowns, and I think as a change management journey is not mature on this particular aspect, we are still figuring out. I think the talent acquisition industry is still figuring out what is the best and the more refined way. I think nobody has mastered the art at this point of time on, kind of acquiring talent or, kind of even from a redesigning of the job catalogs, what they have. Because every organization is in a different phase of AI adoption. So I would say that there is a discomfort, there is a lot of unknown, and hence it's not very easy time at all. There is a lot of change here, and whenever there is change, there is discomfort. So probably I will, kind of summarize it that way here.
Yes. So now we heard both the perspective here, the advantage and the disadvantage. I wouldn't say disadvantage. It's just the challenging period for now to, since it is an evolution time and we are trying to cope up from the technology perspective, from the scope definition perspective, and also from the talent acquisition perspective. So that's a very good narration, and that's thank you so much, Preetham, Gaurav, and Rajiv. And now I am coming straight to Preetham, just to take your inputs on what's been the toughest conversation you have had to have this year because of AI. That's the next question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I think the toughest conversation is letting people know that they are not losing their jobs, but if they are not changing the way look at their jobs, probably they will. And it appears easier said than done, but I think as HR leader, in making change more palatable is the toughest conversation. um, you know uh, Change is always, like I said, it's uncomfortable. So uh, will AI take over jobs or jobs will be eliminated? The answer is no. But if you do not change the traditional way of looking at the jobs, probably your job will be eliminated because you are not willing to change yourself. So I think the difficult conversation is helping people understand, develop the lens in which the jobs are getting redesigned. And it's not an easy conversation, because in this spectrum we do have talent workforce which is of different generations, talent workforce which has different experience levels, and every generation, every cadre of the workforce respond to this conversation in a very different way. However, they do have one commonality, that they do have humongous amount of anxiety and fear of unknown in this particular space. So though there is commonality of that fear and anxiety, the way they respond to this is very, very different. So that has been the most difficult conversation. I think the AI adoption, on the contrary, the highest is the experience, the resistance to change is higher. Lower is the experience. They're able to quickly, kind of move into different kind of trainings and all of those kind of things, just to acquaint those skill sets. So it's an interesting amalgamation of human experiences at display when we are having these conversations, Ramya.
Great, Preetham. So I completely understand, because sometimes whenever we do interact with the candidates at a junior level and the interaction with a senior level, it's very different. The approach is very different, and the absorption of the takes that we give it to them is also, very different. The way that they communicate and correspond to what the questions, and they have a very different mindset all in all. And every generation is having the same, sort of understanding, and they want to have their own comforts given a point. So over to you, Rajiv. I just want your take on this. What is your experience when it comes to managing these sort of um, inhibitions or the questions coming from the newer generations?
So, in my experience, whether within the organization or when I go outside of the organization, speak to people, this topic is very common, that what is the impact of AI on the tech jobs? And definitely the market is also reacting in that way. The valuations are eroding, or the stocks are going plumbing down, whatever it is. But what I suggest, or what I say based on the trend that is happening, is that definitely AI is going to replace jobs, but it is not simply replacing the tech jobs. The very low hanging fruits, or I would say it is very simplistic to say like that. But what exactly AI is going to replace or do is the repeatable tasks, the boilerplate codings that we had in our codes, the test generations. So, like Gaurav mentioned, SDLC is not one single ecosystems. There are different parts within the ecosystems, which starts from document generations to code writing to testings to sending it live to the production environments. So all these stages have different scope, different workers, or different teams, or different areas of expertise. So everything cannot be automated. But yes, there are some low hanging fruits where documentation is one, which definitely there used to be like a large team with the help of the AI or the Gen AI tools that we have. It can be generated within like less than an hour or maybe in few hours, versus what used to take like a complete set of team to generate and take like couple of days to generate. Similarly, if we talk about testing, the testing team used to take like days to write the test cases, validate it. Now the AI can do it like just in less than an hour or minutes. I would not say few minutes, but definitely 30 minutes to 60 minutes to 70 minutes, depending on the volume that what we have. So these are the low hanging fruits where it needs to be. What is important also is that now we as a human are also increasing in terms of the validators, because AI definitely is a brain who knows everything. But was I able to explain the Gen AI or the AI tool that what I was looking for? It's simple that I'm using the same AI version model or the LLM model that what Ramya is using or Gaurav is using. But when we search, my results are different than what Gaurav's results are versus what Ramya's results are. So that's where we need to be very careful in what exactly we are talking to the AI, what we are telling him to do it. And in terms of the AI replacing the jobs, I think this is some kind of a fear, but definitely, as like we all are discussing, that the reshift will happen. People have to be trained. And whether it's my organizations or the other organizations, everyone is going through some kind of a refresh trainings within their organizations, where is spending millions of dollars to retrain their existing workforce onto the AI side, which is a good thing. It should be applauded across the industry, is what I'll say. But now, as also it was told, that there are resistance from the senior people, as Pritham was saying, and those people have to understand that they have to change. If I'll keep sitting and doing what I was doing 5 years back, definitely there will be a problem, because what I was doing 2 years back or even 6 months back can be done much faster, much easier, and much more with a less manpower and investment than what was in comparison to 6 months back. That is what like my views are. And definitely every day there is a new thing that is coming up, and we have to actually be aware that what is happening in the industry. A lot of times what I hear, people are still struggling that what is a token, what is a context, what the LLM models are. They don't even know that which is the recent model, which is the difference between open source and open weight. So people have to read a lot. I don't want to people telling that okay, you spend dollars or Indian rupees, get like enrolled in some kind of courses. Information is plenty available. It's our willpower that how much we can actually adapt and we can actually read. So that's what my advice onto this is. And not to say like that okay, AI is actually going to replace jobs. So even the World Economic Forum, they said that okay, there will be like somewhere like 1.5 to 2 million new roles by 2028. So those are the
Hmm.
projections also coming in. And that's where we have to look, and we have to upgrade ourselves and keep upgrading ourselves. So
That's
that's what my
fantastic.
views are.
Very nice, Rajiv. Thank you so much. And learning is the key at whatever the age, keep learning, keep taking the information, keep reading is what you are suggesting. And Gaurav, quickly on this, if you want to add any more pointers to this, I think we have covered most of it. I just want
Yeah.
your perspective also on the same.
Yeah. So I'll just incrementally add, right, what I am seeing. See, I think there is a lot, like Preetham was saying, a lot of discomfort, anxiety, because largely the ways of working are transforming, right? So we're transforming the way we work, right? All roles, right? So few areas where I've seen discomfort is around like two things, right? One is resistance to change, right? Need to change, right? You need to change every week, not just like months. it is weekly, right? You have to change. So like senior folks, right, I can actually do a lot of stuff with AI, right? Much faster. I don't need people, right? So the man, you don't need to manage as many people, right? So senior folks needs to be a lot more hands-on, right? If you take, for example, folks like designers, right, they used to create Figma designs in the SDLC or some other tool, and engineering would pick it up, right, and build it, convert it into HTML or a product. Now with AI, right, the boundaries are also blurring, right? So in my team now, designers are directly generating not just HTML, they would generate a React prototype, working prototype, right? So again, there is a strong out of the comfort zone thing, right? Where these are skills, these are outcomes, these were accountabilities which you have never had, right? So you have to pick it up because AI requires you to, for you to effectively, right, do this. Another area where there are strong conversations, right, hard conversations, is where do you draw that, right? What are you responsible for, right? So with AI, increasingly, all of us, given the pace at which we are moving, we are responsible for outcomes a lot more than before, right? Which means you need to have a larger context and awareness of what is happening, right? So I think everybody needs to have that business and a product sense and awareness, right? Which pulls people out, right, of their comfort zone. And lastly, like that clarity, right? I think orgs are very, very uncomfortable because, see, generally our current pace of moving things, right, allows us to iteratively create clarity, right? Now, when AI moves extremely fast, lack of clarity will get magnified. It will be smoked out, right? Because you can move things fast, you can also make mistakes and very, very bad mistakes fast, right? So things are changing, a lot of change, right? So interesting times.
Yes, very true, Gaurav. It is very interesting time, and like you said, the clarity is the key, and you need to, be ready to adapt, keep learning, and take the most available updates. It's everywhere there now, and the news is always around AI. What is happening every other day? We are seeing one or the other new updates on the AI. So I have a furthermore one interesting question here. I just wanted to ask Gaurav straight to you. The way we used to measure developer productivity, does any of it still hold up in 2026? What's your take on this?
Oh, definitely not, right? Well, I don't think. Well, I believe ki the way we were measuring developer productivity had its flaws even before, right? If you're looking at number of lines of code, tickets, storylines, right, then they're not that accurate, but they are a proxy, right? But now, like when you can actually write code, build systems while the requirements are being still discussed, right? I've had instances, right, where in like a couple of hour long meeting, right, an idea is introduced and time to take it to a live working product, right, it goes significantly shrinks. One sec. So it significantly shrinks, right? So I think the new way to measure developer productivity is, I would say, how quickly things flow, right, from idea to production, right? And when you are doing this, right, what is the quality of, because AI is moving fast, right, I need to see that how much rework I have to do, right? See, AI is also uh, think of it as a teammate. It's a new teammate, new individual entity in your team, right? It does have its own personality, right? There are things it understands, it does not. People like to talk about prompt engineering, figuring out the right way to tell AI what you need, right? But I think of that as a personality of that entity, right? So how well a developer knows how they can harvest, they can use these AI tools, right, to become productive, to create that flow from idea to production, right, is the new skill set, right? Like when we used to interview engineers, we would look for how, what sort of a team player they are, right? Now the team is extended, right? You have AI and all sorts of tools, right? Do you understand the limitations, right, of these tools? Do you understand how to navigate around that becomes interesting, right? And again, the one more thing which I was saying, ki, we are realizing product awareness, right, is becoming a significant skill set, right? Uh, Going forward, you are a great engineer who knows how to write code fast, right? You are actually competing with AI, right? And if the rate at which AI is improving, right, it is a losing battle, right? So we want our engineers, right, to be able to use AI to move to higher order work, right? To create leverage, right? So organizations also need to look at how much leverage you are able to create with AI, right? So the way to measure an engineer would be that, right? Ki how much leverage are you able to generate with AI, with all sorts of tools? How, at what level are you able to own a problem statement, right? Can you create the right outcomes, right? Even, can you go and ask your business counterparts, product counterparts, the right questions, right, on what needs to be built? Because building is not a bottleneck; it will get built very, very fast, right? So it is changing significantly. I would say it is still evolving, right? I have had instances where uh, AI, for example, ends up creating a much better design, right? In minutes, like Rajiv was saying, in minutes, right? Much better design than a team of designers would have spent weeks on, right? And this keeps improving, right? So again, how do you use that to your advantage, right? You don't compete with it.
Absolutely, that is very true. So it's your skill now to leverage the fantastic tool which is an AI. So it's in your advantage, and it becomes a point of even in perhaps interviews. Probably, I think this is going to come in the future, that how skilled enough to ask AI, and how skilled enough are you to use the AI for your leverage, and to get the outputs in much better way and much faster way, and how it is going to impact at the end of the day, which is expected to be the best possible outcome as anticipated. So I just wanted to understand from Rajiv's point, perspective also, if you have seen any changes when we are talking to developers or anything. Have you noticed, or have you yourself have come up with any tool that as a replacement, in terms of, it's again just a counterpart of the question I'm asking. So when we are mentioning the developer productivity, have you come across any such instances where you have taken a decision to replace it, probably which was used earlier, and now you do not want to continue?
So definitely, I have got few a little slight different views than what Gaurav was also mentioning. An answer to your question, I'll give you my example, and example of people who are in their mid 40s, having 20 plus or 2 decades of experience. I personally never started as an AI developer 20 years back. We have to keep learning and unlearning. Yesterday, I was in a conference where it was again for Women Empower Her. And that is what it was discussed, that what is happening right now, we have to quickly learn and unlearn as well. I started myself as a .NET developer. I switched from .NET to Java. Then from Java in 2010, mobility was on peak. So I shifted from Java to mobility side. And 2013, 14 is where the AI started with digital transformation. And that's where I have been into the artificial intelligence side. And that is where we have to be, that what is happening into the market, we have to learn it quickly. And if something new is coming, we have to unlearn as well. The second point is, I work in a service industry now. So I have a little slight different views than what Gaurav was mentioning. These AI tools are expensive now. They are not like a low cost solution tool that is there. My clients, especially the Fortune 500 or the global Fortune 500, each one of them are looking for a developer productivity, which everyone is working and they have their targets or their revenues to showcase that while spending, say, this $1 million on the AI tools, what is the productivity increase that's happening? If it is same that they're spending like multi-million dollars on the AI tools, plus they are spending the same budget on the human power, then what is the benefit that's getting up? So developer productivity is a hot topic across the industry, is what like I'm personally seeing. And each one of the organization is looking for, they're looking for the bar charts, the intelligent tool to showcase them on the real time. We are also working with couple of clients wherein we are working to provide them the realistic data on the developer productivity, pulling information from various different applications and tools. The third thing is, to all your audience and everyone, including me, organizations are doing ways refreshing their career, their journey, moving from the legacy applications or knowledge to the AI side. But it's our responsibility as well. There are a lot of tools available, there are a lot of platforms available, a lot of materials are available. What we need to do is that we need to define or break it into the weeks for our learning, that what exactly our learning path looks like. Coming to the replacement, I would say that what your question was, these tools are not the replacement. There are team members, there are partners. Definitely, they improve our productivity, like the way that exactly Gaurav said. I was using Claude Design, though it was very expensive on the Opus 4.7 model. It consumed approximately $5,000. But the work what Claude Design gave me, the same could have been done by the manual or the human as well, but it would have taken like 2 months, or I don't know, 1.5 to 2 months with a team of 3 to 4 people. I had to sit with them, explain them that this is how it is. Exactly what I would have been explaining the manual teams or the human, I explained the same thing to the Claude design, and it gave me the design. And say the design was there in a couple of hours, but with all the version updates and the modifications, within maximum 2 to 3 days, I had the final version in hand with me.
Wow.
So, but still, humans are required. I had to tell the design that, okay, this is how you need to go. This is what you need to produce. They're not human again. They are brainless. They do have the models, have the brain, but they need instructions. They need the prompts, which in the LLM language we talk about, or the jargon. They need those refined prompts that what they have to do. And the prompts are very important, and that's where the same model gives you a different output. The same model gives Gaurav a different output. The same model will give me a different output. The same model will give Preetham a different output, because maybe we are coming from a different background. Maybe our prompts are different. So we should not look like that, okay, a complete replacement of the human resources that we have. But yes, definitely it adds value. And from the client perspective, now that is what the industry that I'm working with, they are definitely looking for that, okay, what is the productivity that you are increasing, what is the dollar value. So ultimately I believe that whether I work in Synchron, Gaurav works with ENY, Preetham works with Casey, the management doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand the technical or the AI side. They will always want to see that, okay, how many dollars you brought on my table that has been saved. And these tools are
Very
good, they're expensive.
Very true. Very nice. Very well put across, Rajiv. Thank you so much. And so it's very well said that, any person, it's not a replacement of the tool. It's more of a replacement of a person with the suitable skill set is what we are actually taking as an insight over here. As uh, so which will again come back to the same question and the answer given by Gaurav, that how well are you learning and how well are you improvising yourself is very, very important point to be taken over here. And with this, Pritam, I have a very interesting question to you, since you are at the human resource side of it, and I just want to understand your perspective on this question. What's something your HR team is doing today that would have sounded strange just 2 years ago?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Before I start with an exact answer to this question, I have a plug on to what I think both the gentlemen have said here, and completely agree with what they have shared on, and maybe that's also alluding to the answer to the question you have asked. How we are measuring productivity, like a lot of power to the technical workforce here and the leaders, in terms of, because the rules of the games have changed, and how the productivity used to measure earlier versus how it is getting measured now, or how it needs to be measured now. Everybody is kind of figuring it out. uh, I'll tell you, probably how human resource is helping here, and probably different elements that needs to be acknowledged here. I think the way in which the jobs are making more sense are how creative people are, how creative they are in decision making, what kind of influencing skills they have, wherein they are able to leverage AI technology and influence the business outcomes. So I think how HR is helping, or how HR is driving the agenda on AI adoption, is asking people, or kind of developing their skill set, or developing their scheme of things, or the way they are thinking and adopting technology, is better decision making. And kind of integrating the human skills with the technology. So a lot of soft skills, or I hate to use this word soft skills, but lot of our personality aspects needs to be reworked on, for us to be able to better collaborate with technology, as people not just have team members with whom they need to collaborate, but they do also have chatbots and things like that with they need to kind of work. So they are also the digital co-workers that they have. So how do you really adopt? So the whole strengthening of the change management muscle is where the HR teams are putting their strength behind the technology workforce. So the whole change management journey is easy, it's palatable, and the outcomes that are being driven, people are more creative, there is more receptivity to different ways of looking at the same problem. Acknowledgement of failing fast is important, and there is no one way of doing thing, because nobody has mastered it, we all are learning on the go. So developing the nerve in the organization to fail fast, adopt decision making democracy, or influencing democracy, because it won't be just one leader or one technical lead who will lead the entire decision making. Whoever figures it out kind of contributes to the higher degree of decision making. So apart from the traditional L&D offerings, some of these skills and some of these I would say capabilities are being developed with the help of HR revised L&D agendas, is how it is contributing. Because at the end of the day, as I think Gaurav was alluding, or the other gentleman was alluding, that what makes difference is the dollar value. So whoever the workforce that is more creative, how creatively they are able to do the solutioning and adopt along with technology, have a direct impact on your go to market strategy, or how well and how fast are you solutioning for the either the client problem, or if it is say a captive to the enterprise kind of problems that they are solving for, is the game changer thing. So, I would say a little bit of departure from the traditional set of learnings which you can take all along during the year. A very, very aggressive take on change management, muscle building, creativity, giving freedom, because technology and creativity has not been always seen in the kind of similar lens. probably technology's structure, far more methodical and a step-by-step approach, versus probably creativity was parked for the skills that are needed in non-tech zones, was the classic segregation, which we are taking absolute departure from. I think if you really have to be an HR partner contributing to the business agenda. Probably a longish answer, but a little bit of a different approach is how I see HR kind of contributing to this whole journey.
Awesome. That's a very good insight, Preetham. Thank you so much. And I just want to say that with this, we are actually, conveying a message to the people outside to be more creative, work on your personality, and organizations are any which ways there they are there to help you out. And the more suitable candidate from all the perspective, be it at the learning level and adaptation level, and being at the creative level, um, any organization is ready to give you a much more elaborated learning program, so that you can learn even more and be the most suitable candidate and be productive, and at the end of the day contribute to the dollars that we are talking all about at the end of the day, right? So that's a very good insight, Preetham. Thank you so much. And I do have a very a controversial statement or a question, perhaps. I just wanted to ask, from your perspective, since you are already there in the industry from a very long time, I want to know one AI tool in your stack you would fight to keep, and one you think which is overhyped. So I want everybody to answer this question, since we are talking more on the AI over here today. May I know the answer? Starting from Gaurav, what's your take on this, please?
So it will definitely have to be the AI coding assistants, right? So take in an English requirement and generate code, right? Build products quickly, right? Or they can do design also now, right? So I would say whether it is Cursor, whether it is Factory, whether it is Cloud Code, right? Having one which works for you, right, and where you know how to collaborate with it. I think Preetham was used a great term, right? Collaborate, right? So you think of them as your team member. They have their flaws, limitations, personalities, right? So collaborate with them. I think it's indispensable, right? For engineers, it is the AI coding tools. Even for non-engineers, right? There are tools like Lovable, Emergent, right, where you can go in and try to build applications. Internally at EY, we are investing in some of these tools ourselves, right, which help. There's a tool which helps business folks come up with the requirement, right? See, I think coming up with the requirement, the challenge is thinking the art of possible. See, the victory is not going to come just by reducing cost, right? Victory is not going to come even by using AI as a leverage, right, to do things faster. It is going to come by changing, right, the way you are doing stuff, bringing in what was not possible earlier, right? So, imagining the art of possible, I think, and so making AI your companion there, right? So those would be for non-engineers, that for engineers the coding assistants.
That's very nice. And I want to know Rajiv's input here as well, please.
So my input is that okay, it is not standard. Definitely, there are more powerful, intelligent tools that we have, or the LLM models we have. There are open sourced LLM models which are also powerful, which are available, but depends on the organization, the industry that we have. For some, still GitHub Copilot is better, or the Microsoft Copilot is better. As Gaurav mentioned, for few, Cursor is good, or Devin is good, or even Claude Cowork is good. So it depends on the organizations, that based on their infosec, their internal compliances, what they're looking for. Non-BFSI, they're very predominant towards the open source tools like the Chinese models, definitely, but they're also powerful. Quen 3.7, which was launched like 3 days back, DeepSeek version 4, which was launched like last week, I think, which were in comparison to what Opus 4.6 model, the paid model, was. So it is not a standard answer that I can see that, okay, this is what I would love. Personally, definitely my choices are there. But from the organization perspective, there are a list of things that needs to be taken care of. And when say ENY or Synchron or say an Kimberly Clark or any other organization comes into the picture, it's not the CTO who makes the decision or the CEO makes the decision. CIO comes into the pictures, the CRO comes into the pictures, the MRM teams comes into the picture, and everybody has to sit together. It cannot be an individual decision saying that, okay, I love OpenAI, so let's implement. No, that's not how it works. I was working with one of the largest bank in US, and I was proposing one of the best, or I would say that most intelligent LLM model. Their ask was simple, that okay, they say that okay, this has so many of security inside that their website publishes. Rajiv, can you simply switch off the internet and show me that my data is not going outside my environment? Most of these LLM models will not work. The moment you off the network, that means that your data has not gone out, but the LLM fails because it needs reasoning. And when that internet is on, whatever it is, SHA or whatever the encryption that we are applying, but still the data has gone outside my environment to a third party environment, be it Microsoft. Microsoft is something an exclusive. Everybody trusts Microsoft for last 30, 40 years. So Microsoft is an exclusive, but not to the other vendors or partners they trust, wherein there are open source models, wherein I can turn off the internet and I can still make him make the decision or give him the reasoning that what I'm looking for, which means the data still reside within my server, within my closed environment. There was no internet. So it's not a single answer, I would say. Maybe personally, I have some preferences. Gaurav has some preferences. Preetham has some preferences. You like some tools on your phone versus your laptop. But the single answer can be difficult. It always depends on the organization, which industry it works on, what his internal compliance is, what the central bank's compliance is. States like in India, Reserve Bank is there. In US, central banks are there, which keeps on publishing SR 11.7 documents. So they have to abide with that. And it's also not their personal choices. So that's how I would like to answer this question. That not one single standard tool which will suffice based on my
Yes,
personal views or personal likings.
I get that. So basically, it's all about which tool is bringing in more of a, more suitable at an organization, following the compliances and the internal security things and everything. So
And the
I,
other
I
thing, I missed the CFO part also. The CFO also needs to be on the table, stating that I can only spend this much amount. Now you go. Because
right,
definitely, you don't want to spend like millions or multi millions dollar on these tools. So
absolutely.
you have to bring everyone on the table, make them understand. We have to also understand that okay, these are the barriers, and that's how a tool has been decided. And it takes like definitely months to get onto the same page.
Very nice thought, and thank you so much, Rajiv. Yes, Preetham, over to you, and I would like to know your answer on this.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, but I'm not going to take any names. So I'm going to disappoint you. As a human capital practitioner, I think firm believer that different things kick and work for different people. So yes, for me personally, there are many productivity apps like I can definitely say, for example, Copilot or as simple as that works as a best assistant. For me, probably I can't now imagine working without that. It has become integral part of the way we work, or probably the way kind of easier takes on simply writing emails or responding it, rather than I don't remember typing the email from scratch in the longest time. I'll be lying if I say that I we don't do it. My question rather would be, if you're not, probably think about it, which era you are in. So with that, I think little bit longish addition to your question is there are a lot of productivity, self productivity, mental well being besides the core workspace environment. There are a lot of kind of AI offerings that are available that are for mental well being, for financial well being, etc. And I really hope and pray that the larger formal and informal workspace also kind of adopts to technology in its truest sense, to see the true difference to our own lives, for the better side of it, not for the flip side of it. So that's my answer. So I'm not taking any particular name, as those tools won't be, kind of choosing us as their kind of advertisers, etc. So I'm not advertising any particular tool here, but if there is a problem of plenty now, you can choose whatever suits your requirement.
Yes, I exactly. I appreciate your answer, Preetham. Thank you so much. Well, actually, that's why I started this question. It's a very controversial question, in fact. So it's from the human perspective. I really liked how you presented. It's more of a collaborations and more of a personality development. You have to use your AI for your leverage, for your advantage, and keep learning so that you become proficient. At the end of the day, it's still a tool. It's not a person. You should be more capable enough in terms of handling these tools, and that comes from the learning, that comes from the personality changes, that comes from the constantly absorbing the information, what is happening in the industry, and all these pointers are coming from you, Gaurav, Rajiv, and Preetham. I really appreciate and thank you so much. It's a very well defined and a very good perspective that we have given to our audience today. I have one question in the last, just to ask, one sentence I just want from each one of you here today. 5 years out, right? Does AI create more tech jobs in India than it destroys? Yes or a no? That's all I want from all of you.
So
I
I would
can go
again
first, maybe.
slightly go ahead, Preetham.
Sorry,
Sorry.
go ahead, Pritam.
Yes, sorry. So I'll go first. I think the answer will be yes. It will create more tech jobs because the space is evolving, and the way you use technology, like I said, use your creativity, decision making, different fields in which AI is entering, and for our betterment, I'm glad it's entering. So be it healthcare space or many other besides the standard technology, sectors where we have used kind of technology, say in BFSI, etc. But yeah, imagine healthcare, kind of social welfare. uh, there are abundant opportunities, and in years to come, I really wish and pray that technology makes its headway, AI makes its headway to those sectors as well, which has enough and more job. And thanks to us for our population, our demographic dividend. If not now, when is that we are going to reap the benefit of that? Because to create opportunities for the growing world, for the growing country, we would need more people, more technologists to help us with creating solutions for a better world tomorrow. So that's my take. The answer is big, bold, yes. More jobs will be needed into the tech landscape. Over to the gentlemen.
Yes, Gaurav.
I can go next. So I also think it will create a lot more jobs, right? The types of jobs will change, right? But there will be more tech jobs. We have been hearing this word, software is eating the world, right? But I think that's going to start really happening now, because everybody can create software, whether you are an engineer or not, right? You can create software. So I do think tech jobs will increase. They will move to higher order work, right? Where you will increasingly apply more judgment, systems thinking, right? And ability to steer these autonomous tools, right? So increasingly we'll have more and more autonomous tools. And like Preetham was mentioning, like one of the things she loves is co-pilot, right? But co-pilot ke liye ek pilot bhi chahiye, right? You need pilot, right? So you need a lot of pilots, right, to drive all these autonomous systems. So this is where I think bunch of these technology jobs will move to.
Great, great answer. Yes, Rajiv.
I would say that go with the evidences that we have. The number of GCCs that are coming to India, how much they have increased. For example, the top three banks only employ more than 100,000 employees in India. It is not possible for them to move those 100,000 roles from India to, say, United States, North America, or the other countries. Definitely, there is an impact because of the AI, but the roles are becoming more. And again, citing the evidences of the more GCCs coming, the more articles that are coming. World Economic Forum says that there will be millions of jobs displaced by say 2030, which India is also included, but 2x number of those millions jobs will be created, as Preetham and Gaurav is also mentioning. The point is for we as an Indian to upskill, reskill, learn, know what exactly AI is. Still not tumbling around that, okay, I don't know what the LLM models are or the basics, and start coding, start learning it, utilizing those tools so that it is helpful, not just for writing emails, versus 80% of the organization still uses AI for writing emails. Those are much more powerful models. Utilize it to its full extent. That is what my answer to this is.
Great. Thank you so much, Rajiv. And well, it
Welcome.
was pretty good discussion. Thank you so much, everybody. And I do have one question coming from our audience today. Uh, can the employment opportunities created by AI compensate for the losses it causes? Rajiv, if you would like to answer this question.
See, job loss, where exactly it is happening? Definitely there is a job loss or attrition or layoffs which is happening. But if we see, then this is again like what the low hanging fruits or the jobs which are actually AI is actually going to replace them, where the typewriting jobs or the content writing jobs that used to exist and used to be like really are highly rewarding jobs, content writers and all 5 years back or maybe 10 years back. I don't think anybody today needs a content writer. Definitely in the organizations there are. I was again working with something that there are very highly paid jobs which is of a treasury in any banks, and they're always limited in numbers. I'm not a finance. But yes, they are also getting automated. But does that mean that these treasurers are going away? The answer again, my answer to this is that okay, get reskilled within your organization, outside of your organization. If you see the job boards, most of the job boards are filled with AI roles. Demand versus supply. Supply is not there. But yes, if I'll think like that, okay, 10 years back, I was a Java developer. I still want a Java developer job. Maybe I'll be able to get it. But whether I'll be personally satisfied with it, how long it is going to exist, I don't know. So personally, if I talk about, I'll never be happy with the Java job. With
Right.
the organization, maybe for 6 months, 1 year, till the time that legacy application is not migrated to something a much more modern ecosystems, I'll stay. But after that, we don't know. So that's where this reskilling and upskilling is very much important. And if your
Absolutely.
organization is small, middle sector, they are not investing it in you, invest yourself. And invest means invest time, not money. You don't need today, in today's world, you don't need money to learn. It's all the will that what I have to learn, how much time I can actually dedicate to myself for learning is what like I feel like. So job losses are true, but yes, there are new opportunities also which are there. So if because of
Absolutely.
whatever reason I have been laid off or I have let go that opportunity, am I ready for that next opportunity? And it's all technology. I was speaking to someone yesterday. Someone was asking that, okay, he is something like legacy technology. I said, start learning Python. If you know a more complex tech stack or a language, Python is like 20% of what you know right now. But start learning it, maybe 15
Great.
days a month, because you are already a techie. It's not like that you are coming from a finance background or an operations background. Sorry to say that, Preetham, but you are not coming from a non-tech background that it will be difficult for you. And similarly, for the other operations or the other admins, also the same thing is happening. We don't want a typewriter. None of the organizations are looking for a typewriter job. They're looking for more intelligent human resources or employees to be available in the organization. So
Very well
that's what.
put. Thank you so much. Yes, Rajiv, I understand. Thank you so much. We do have a very hard stop in the next 1 minute. minute. I just want to thank you, everybody, and what a lovely interaction and what a great takeaway that we have had with this interaction. Just to brief what we are taking away with, from this discussion is the question was never really about AI take our jobs. It's whether we are honest enough to name which work is changing fast enough to deploy people instead of discarding them, and humane enough to have the hard conversation before the spreadsheet does. Thank you, Rajiv, Preetam, and Gaurav, for going very specific and not speculative. And thank you all for being part of the Women Everyday series. We will meet again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Preetam. Rajiv and Gaurav, if you could stay for another 10-15 minutes, please,
Thanks,
while we record.
Preetam. It was nice interacting with you over